everyone. Welcome to my presentation on developing a framework for understanding the intersectional e-health needs of people with dementia and their carers. This project is a collaboration between Maastricht University and Nottingham Trent University, and it takes place as part of my Niels Stensen Fellowship. When I talk about e-health, I'm talking about tools that use the internet to improve physical or mental health. There's been a lot of research on e-health for dementia, and it has shown that it has the potential to increase carer self-confidence and feelings of competency, also self-efficacy. It has the potential to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. When effective, it can be scaled up quite easily and in a cost-efficient way. And we saw the real added benefit of having these remote services during the COVID-19 pandemic, when it was great to have an alternative to regular or traditional face-to-face services. An example of an e-health intervention for dementia is Partner Imbalance, which is an online intervention, sort of like a course for carers of people with dementia to get used to their new role as carers with the help of an online coach. So unfortunately, we see that very few of these quite evidence-based and effective interventions get implemented into practice. My doctoral research showed that this was around 3%, and we identified some relevant factors, including sort of a lack of tailoring to the eventual care context in practice, and also a lack of sustainable financing options. But what I've been thinking about lately is something that people ask me quite a lot when I explain what my research is about, and that's like, well, what about people who maybe don't have access to the necessary technologies? What about people who maybe don't have Wi-Fi or other internet access? For instance, in care homes, I think this happens quite a lot. And what about people who maybe don't have the digital skills or the reading level to be able to engage with these technologies? Is this not maybe an inequity in care? And is this not exclusionary? So I've also thought of something similar when teaching at the university. This comes up sometimes. For instance, there was a student who said to me, well, this is all very interesting, but I come from a Turkish background, and we don't really have the word dementia in my home, and our care context also seems quite different. So yeah, my experience of dementia care is not really what I'm seeing in Partner Imbalance, which is what we were talking about. And then there's also the aspect of relationships and relationship dynamics. I think a lot of scenarios around dementia caregiving tend to focus on heterosexual relationships, where I think that sort of care dynamics and trajectory can be a bit different in relationships more in LGBTQ communities. Unfortunately, I'm not able to present results today, but I thought it might be useful to touch upon the frameworks we'll be using in this project. And the first sort of overarching framework is Crenshaw's intersectionality framework, as it was sort of originally used. This refers to the fact that, people are not one thing. As you can imagine, people are an intersection of all different parts of their identity and their background. And these intersections create sort of very specific experiences and inequities in policy and in health and in care. And that's what we want to explore in this project. What we don't want to do is make, one intervention for this kind of group and one intervention for this group. What we want is to really look at this in depth and try and help researchers develop more intersectional interventions from the beginning. These are other frameworks we'll be using, and in the interest of time, I don't have time to get into them all today, but you could note them down if you'd like. And then finally, just to sketch the broader context of this project, the first aim is a focus group study, where we want to really develop a framework to understand experiences from an intersectional perspective, which will then lead to guidelines that we can disseminate to researchers and help them approach their interventions from an intersectional perspective. And then finally, we want to practice what we preach and develop more content for partner imbalance from an intersectional perspective. So yeah, this is sort of in broad strokes the project. I hope I can keep you updated, and I'll be able to share results with you soon. So for now, thank you for listening, and see you next time.